I've always liked tales of dystopian societies. Terminator, Mad Max, Judge Dredd. Not because I want the future to look like that, but because those stories are honest about one thing. Dystopias don't come from chaos. They come from decisions. Lately, it feels like the people building our future already decided who it's for. Dystopia is never about technology. Dystopian societies aren't about robots or deserts or police states. They're about who controls resources. The 1%, Immortan Joe, Big Pharma, Guardian of Gastown, Donald J. Trump, Elon Musk, Major Kalashnikov, Bezos, record label execs, millionaire, billionaire, tech bros. It's also about who owns the knowledge, the preacher, the teacher, the government, the CEO, your parents. The owner of knowledge is the plug, the distributor. If I have a chokehold on knowledge, I can ration it out and give it to who I see fit. I also have the privilege of misinforming you. This is good. This is bad. Smoke. Drink. Gamble. Consume. Buy. Consume. Buy. Have unprotected sex. Don't get an abortion. Gays are bad. Blacks are bad. And there's some secret enemy from within that's going to rear its ugly head at any moment. And I have to protect you. Because Christianity is under attack. Your quality of life is bad because you don't work hard enough. And guess what? Everything that you're lacking is because of them. Scarcity, scarcity, scarcity. Hey, poor people, take these tariffs and taxes. Whoa. Don't say anything to the rich. The capitalist pigs already pay too much in taxes. Give them a break, man. Think about it. One day you might get rich. You don't want to pay more taxes, do you? Huh? If I'm in leadership, I might lead you to your demise or I might lead you to victory, right? Those that don't know, teach. Those that don't know, overcompensate and overcomplicate. Those that don't know, put lipstick on a pig. Those that don't know, put their iron fist inside of a velvet glove. Those that don't know should learn to curtail their opinions because they don't know anything. But if I'm the keeper of knowledge, I might get over on you. I might sell you a bridge in Brooklyn. Or I might just lead you astray inadvertently. Dystopian futures are also about who gets protected. The rich, the famous, the sexy, those that lack integrity, snitches, turncoats, charlatans, anybody willing to play ball. And don't forget to factor in who gets written off. Minorities, elderly, physically disabled, mentally disabled, homeless, criminals, pretty much anybody that is not of sound mind and body, pretty much anybody that won't get propagandized is going to be thrown under the bus. Every society has elites that live comfortably. And everybody else is just surviving in the system that they built. That's not fiction. That's a warning. In early 2024, an AI company called Anthropic quietly launched something called Project Panama. Shh. Not a public initiative, not with research partners, a secret internal project. They spent tens of millions of dollars buying millions of physical books. And they cut the spines off of those books. Not metaphorically, literally. They separated the books from their spines like Sub-Zero in Mortal Kombat. They did it so that the pages could be scanned faster while being fed into an AI model. No permission from the authors, no public disclosure, no transparency. I'm only able to tell you this because of unsealed court documents from a lawsuit. It's about extraction. Let's be clear, crystal. This was not about preservation of knowledge. If it was, they would have asked the public or the authors. This was about extracting value. The rich get richer and the poor get the picture. Human beings spend decades writing books, ideas, labor, and creativity gets turned into training data, then into proprietary systems, then into profit. No consent. We all know that consent is king. Consent is so important. Anthropic did this with no consent and minimal compensation, and they moved in secrecy until lawyers got involved. They didn't just scan books. They stripped the spines off of culture. There's a pattern that you're supposed to miss. This isn't just Anthropic. Meta did the same thing. They were using pirated materials from massive shadow libraries like LibGen and Anna's Archive. These pirated books were used to train their AI model, Llama. That's the name. Internal messages show employees knew that the materials were pirated and they discussed the legal risk. And despite the concerns about the data being illegal, Mark Zuckerberg said, "Hey, cronies, keep going. We're facing competitive pressure. Go." Meta later won the ruling based on fair use. They didn't source the materials ethically, but the plaintiff couldn't prove market harm. And this is the problem with everything. It's these big monster companies that always try to do this David and Goliath thing, and David doesn't always win. These big companies bully you, and you're burdened with proof. You have to prove yourself against an army of attorneys and money and wealth. The courts didn't rule that the downloaded books were lawful or ethical, but they skated by on fair use laws. And Meta wasn't the only company in this scandal. OpenAI, Google, Perplexity, and others faced lawsuits as well. Also, too, they had allegations like using copyrighted materials without permission, using pirated databases, and while the courts are still undecided long term, no final precedent was set because the companies got that loophole. They skated on the charges because it was broken into two legal issues. Training AI could be considered transformative, aka fair use. But issue number two, how the data was obtained still matters. So even if they skated on fair use charges, the way that the materials were acquired is still an issue. Illegal. So the issue of consent is unresolved because it's still a legal and ethical problem. But if all the tech bros continue to do a variation of the same thing, they'll continue to get away from it. Because legislation can't move as fast as technology. So the tech bros are going to continue to not ask permission. They're just going to do what they want and ask for forgiveness later. And by that time, the damage is already done, because this is how power behaves when it's faster than regulation. The future that this creates, dystopia, will stop being a movie. AI will replace labor and knowledge will become privatized. Wealth will become way more concentrated than it already is now. The people that own the models won't need workers. They won't need writers. They won't need consent. Think about these people creating a system that doesn't need workers. What kind of position does that put you and me in? People that do physical labor will get replaced by a robot that'll work his battery down to 2%, walk over to a shelf, replace his battery, and keep going. They're not going to need writers. AI pulls from every source on the internet, so AI could be your favorite author, director, and screenplay writer all in one. These cases show that they don't need consent. All they need is data. What happens to the rest of us? Job insecurity. We get less protection than we already have now. And we're going to get a bunch of progress that we didn't even ask for. AI doesn't eliminate work. It eliminates bargaining power. Because extreme wealth and extreme poverty are going to be all that we know. Every dystopian world looks the same. And if you're not picking up what I'm putting down, I got some homework for you. Elysium. The wealthy live in pristine space stations with perfect health care, clean air, and infinite resources. Everybody else is on Earth, which is a dump at this point. Snowpiercer. The elites live on a luxury train with sushi bars and schools and nightclubs, and the poor people are in the back of the train eating protein bricks. Blade Runner. Corporate elites control food, labor, and artificial life. They live in these massive towers with infinite resources, and everybody else is in poverty and decay. And the wealthy people wield their godlike power. Mad Max, Fury Road. Scarcity is everywhere. Water and fuel is warded by warlords while masses survive on scraps. The Road. Total economic and social collapse. No safety net, no institutions. Survival replaces morality. Power isn't just material, it's spiritual. Children of Men. The government still exists, and the wealthy enclaves are protected, and refugees and poor people are treated like they're disposable. Poverty isn't forced, it's not accidental. There always has been, and there always will be, someone to gatekeep. There will always be somebody to bottleneck resources, okay? The elites aren't better than you because they're smarter or more innovative. They have the luxury of resources. They're innovative and they have no restraints. The road that we're heading down is not inevitable. But the part that people want to ignore and turn a blind eye to is this problem is not going to fix itself. It takes action. The road that we're going down is not natural and it's not our destiny. We're heading the way that we're heading because of policy choices, legal loopholes, and lack of enforcement. We're also going down this road because the accolade-giving, celebrity-obsessed, rich-obsessed society that we live in. Because dystopia doesn't have to be our future, but it will be our future if we continue to let greed go unchallenged. But do your homework, check out some of those movies that I recommended, and you'll start to get it. It'll start to set in. All of these dystopian movies end the same way. It's not about the machines winning. It's about people realizing too late that the system was built without them. Project Panama is not the apocalypse. It's a preview. And the question isn't about if the future is going to be automated. The question is, will the future be shared with us?